AI will never give up.
AI will never give up.
Yeah.
Right? Call only those hours.
And 10,000 people simultaneously.
Do it exactly.
Yeah.
There are a lot of threats that are happening right now. One of them is that cyber criminals are using AI to make their crimes much more effective. They're using AI to do scams, fraud, and extortion in particularly sophisticated ways.
Are we just about to enter into a world where we are just much more digitally vulnerable as normal people? Do you worry it's about to get truly dystopic?
We're literally living in an environment of war around cybersecurity that we're kind of ignoring.
They're good at phishing, and humans are not very good at not being phished.
What they are is they're cheaper at phishing. They can phish everyone and see who's most vulnerable, much more cheaply than you can get a human to call up everyone on the planet.
Right.
Just managing the world around you is going to be a full-time and purposeful job because there will be so many people fighting for misinformation and for your attention. And there's obviously lots of competition, lots of things to worry about. Plus you have all of the people trying to get your money, create opportunities, deceive you. Human purpose will remain. There will be evil people who will use these tools to create even more evil problems. There will be good people who will be trying to deter the evil people. The tools change, but the structure of humanity, the way we work together, is not going to change.
Already an LLM today can do a simple version, which is the phishing version. I would like to figure out how to get Eric Brynjolfsson's password. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the creativity of an LLM on that target.
So you can do it at scale very creatively, impersonate.
Yeah, so like you try to do everybody in the hospital to try to get admin credentials.
And the LLM can do that better than just sort of a traditional brute force. Yeah,
because it can A/B test and follow up.
And of course, a few more ticks, you start getting better at that. So you're like sincerely worried about that.
Everyone's excited about, oh, I can use AI to like customize outbound sales or something. Your inbox is now worthless because once all the sales are customized, you can't tell what's real and what's fake. That entire economy collapses.
So like from the sales side, I know our reps obviously use it in different ways and AI prompts to like look. I get so many emails now that are so personalized. I'm starting to go numb to it, actually.
It's not just kids. If you have elderly parents like I do, they're getting targeted with emails that apparently are written in my tone of voice, which kid them into thinking that I'm genuinely asking them for money. Or
anybody that is not in their contact, either phone or email or text, once they get through that door, it's a disaster.
The non-consensual invasion of privacy for profit, non-consensual. Can you opt out? Can you say, stop stalking me? Can you say, stop spamming me? See, the thing is, in normal English, we have words for this. Basically, once you think of them as spammers, as stalkers, as scammers, because they are scammers, I actually want to see people use anti-stalking, anti-spam kind of things. They've got money, so go after them on that.
Do you see people as mostly having like their own agents that work on their behalf? And what's the economic model of that?
The business model is ultimately getting paid by the individual themselves.
But it sounds like you think that model can work, where we have, like each of us has our own agent that works for us and is maximizing what we want rather than somebody else.
Yes.
Okay. An agent economy is one in which agents don't just communicate information. They transfer resources, make transactions, keep track of each other, understand trust and reliability, and they actually have their own economy. This economy doesn't cut out humans, it's all about humans. The agents work with the people, and the people work with the agents. In order to achieve that very big, important next wave that we're all going to enter, we'll talk about 3 important technical challenges. The first is persistent identity. The agent is going to have to be able to persist on its own personality and its own understanding. The second type of persistence is understanding you. If you're doing business with a person and they don't remember anything about you, they can hardly remember your name, that's a big challenge to trust and reliability. We need to have seamless communication protocols for transfer of information, value, and trust. Finally, security. This is a topic that's going to be on the rise. If you can't meet the person you're doing business with face to face, that importance of security and trust is even further elevated. You can't with agents. So we're going to have an entire cottage industry formed around that trust, that security, and it will be even more important in the agent economy than it already is in our current economy.
When internet utilities made the marginal cost of storing and moving information zero, or the marginal cost of having a communications connection to someone zero, or the marginal cost of distributing software effectively became zero, when you change the fundamental unit economics, the kind of net world output of that thing goes fairly exponential. And I think that will be similar with money and transactions. As we approach that point, the velocity of money in the world, in the actual economy, will increase considerably. Like the amount of net world output growth in those other areas was like million X over some period of time. It was just extraordinary, and we see that. The implications of that are really profound. If we have this incredibly high velocity of money, the ability for people to benefit from that economically is significant. And to the point of kind of the global nature of all this, we've never had a system of value exchange with that efficiency that is truly anyone connected to the internet who can participate in that. And so the implications are significant there. I think the thing I'm most excited about is we're also like in the very early stages of programmable money and programmable money use cases. And while we have huge advancements that have happened we're still barely scratching the surface there as well. And I think I'm interested mostly in what people are going to invent in terms of intermediating value that has never been invented before. And I kind of refer to it as similar to like when the iPhone came out. Like there were a lot of ideas about mobile, but until you had the surface area that allowed you to accomplish those things, you really couldn't envision everything that was going to be possible. And I think we're approaching a point where robust, mature, infra for writing code to intermediate value, and that where it's effectively frictionless and seamless for users, we're approaching that. And so I'm super excited to see what happens there. And real economic output is time value of money transformation. That is how economic growth happens. And we are not yet doing that much with that today on chain. And to me, that's the deepest transformation that can happen in terms of increasing global economic prosperity for people,